my dear learners, welcome to Learn from Home program initiated by Supplementary Volunteer Teachers Organization. Today, in this lesson, we will continue the same topic of the previous lesson, that is wind. Within this topic, we will discuss the following 3 points. And the first point is wind action in desert and semi-desert areas. The second point is reason for location of deserts between 15 degree to 30 degree north and south latitude. And the third point is concept of sand formation. Like in the previous lesson, we have studied about the walks of wind. And the walks of wind is mostly active and predominant in the deserts and semi-desert areas. And there are several causes that are responsible for the predominance of wind action in the desert and semi-desert areas. So now let's first discuss about the first point, that is predominance of wind action in desert and semi-desert areas. There are several causes that are responsible for the predominance of wind action in deserts and semi-deserts and coastal areas. So in this lesson, we will mainly discuss about the 4 causes. Out of those 4 causes, the first cause that we will discuss is uninterrupted wind due to lack of vegetation. Like, for example, if this is a desert area, you all know desert areas are barren land. Barren land means they do not have any vegetation or they do not have any trees. So, due to the lack of trees in the desert areas, the wind blows uninterruptedly. The wind can easily blow from any direction. So when the wind blows easily in the desert areas, then the action of the wind becomes very active and predominant in these desert areas. The second cause is exposed and loose soil surface. For example, if this is desert areas are filled with sand and dust particles. And these sand and dust particles are exposed to the direction of the wind. So, due to the exposure of the sand and dust particles in this desert, the wind can easily blow from any direction that predominates and becomes active in these areas. The third cause is large range of diurnal temperature causing expansion and contraction. Expansion means to increase the size and contraction means to decrease or reduce the size. The daily range of temperature in the desert area continuously or frequently changes. Sometimes the range of the temperature increases up to 40-50 degrees Celsius. Sometimes the temperature decreases below 10 to 15 degrees Celsius. So due to this continuous or daily change of temperature, the rocks have the tendency to expand and contract. Let me explain this with the help of a diagram. For example, if this is desert areas are filled with big and small block of rocks and sand particles. During daytime, in presence of the sun, these rocks, they have the tendency to get heated up. So when this rock tend to heat up, at the time this rock have the tendency to expand, increase its size. Whereas during the night, in absence of this sun, the same rocks and the sand particles in the desert areas, they start cooling down. So when it cools, it contracts. Now when during daytime the rock is expanding, and during night time the same rock is contracting. So when the rocks expand and contract, at the time the outer layer of the rock becomes weak and weaker, and these weak and weaker rocks gets exposed to the direction of the wind, and the action of the wind becomes active and predominant in these desert areas. The fourth cause is abrasion and attrition. In the previous lesson, we have detailedly discussed about abrasion and attrition. In short, it can be said that abrasion is the process of force and friction against the exposed rock, and attrition is the process of striking of the dust particles against each other. And these two erosional work of wind, that is abrasion and attrition, are mostly predominant in the desert areas. Hence, due to the predominance of abrasion and attrition in the desert areas, the work of the wind becomes very active and predominant in the desert areas. Therefore, the four causes of predominance of wind action in desert, semi-desert and coastal areas are: number 1, uninterrupted wind due to lack of vegetation; number 2, exposed and loose soil surface; number 3, large range of diurnal temperature causing extreme expansion and contraction; and the fourth one, abrasion and attrition. These are the four important causes.